instinctive technique is to be comfy. Whatever that means to you. And then maybe it's helpful to say something like, sitting or standing or lying down in such a way that your skeletal structure is doing the heavy lifting here. And maybe take a minute to see if your shoulders can be rolled back gently. Most of us hunch throughout the day. It's very natural, very common. See if you can sit in such a way that you can get your pelvic tilt forward a little bit, which naturally not only helps elevate your spine, but actually helps open your diaphragm and your abdominal cavity for big, full, deep breaths. And then all the way up your spine, your head nice and tall on top of your vertebrae. I have a tendency to kind of tilt my head back, so when I sit, I kind of notice that, and I think about a string pulling the very top of my skull to the sky, and I allow my chin to kind of gently tuck, which gives your neck vertebrae those last couple millimeters of elevation. You get this really nice, tall posture. And to begin with, just notice how it feels like to be you right now. In a way, it's like all of us coming home, body, attention, heart, mind, all showing up in the same place at the same time. And there's no sensation that could arise that is unwelcome. There's no thought or feeling that could arise that is unwelcome here. You could think of your practice as the one place in your precious life where there is no wrong answer. This is the most intimate and open of places. Every part of you is absolutely welcome here. This includes any sensation arising within the field of touch, and just allowing your attention to kind of naturally notice whatever is arising, like, oh, my feet feel like this, my legs feel like this. Sit bones, buttocks, and thighs on the floor, cushion, bench, chair, couch. Feeling your hands upon your lap. Feeling the way gravity pulls you to the earth. This incredibly gentle yet powerful embrace of the gravitational field of the earth holding you to her. And the way your beautiful, strong bones, muscles, tendons, and ligaments negotiate and engage with gravity to hold you upright. And then, of course, your beautiful breath that flows in and flows out without any need to control or manage. Just notice. And in the same way that none of these sensory points of contact, the thousands of points of contact that are arising and passing away, including any sounds that happen to fall into our open ears, light and shadow upon our closed or half-open eyelids, smells in our noses like the incense or the sea breeze, any tastes in our mouths, sensations from within our body, joints, abdomen, chest, neck, throat, face, insides of our mouth, lips, teeth, and tongue, eyelids, etc., etc. There isn't a single one of these that you need to fix or stop or manage in any way. In the same way, any moods or feelings that arise and pass away within our emotional center, any thoughts or memories or stories or plans or ideas that arise within our cognitive center, you are under no obligation to change or stop or fix or manage any of it. Simply being present to this experience without any differentiation, preference, or choice is like a vast circle, completely enclosing your entire experience and awareness, whose center is nowhere and whose edge is nowhere. I invite you to rest here for a moment or two, and I'll be quiet. And when mind or heart or attention very naturally get attracted to or run off with or contract around a specific point of reference, like a thought or a feeling or a sensation. Just notice that. No need to fix or stop or manage. You are always the awareness. Feel free to remain exactly as you are, or feel free to shift, wiggle, wriggle, move. So as is usually the case, I did the opposite of what I said I would do. We gathered, got calm, and then I was just like, just rest. This kind of open resting without any kind of noting or focal point could be thought of as well represented in the Zen shikantaza, just sitting practice. Also is well represented in a lot of the Dzogchen and Mahamudra practice originating from Tibet. And also probably the Chan, silent illumination practice. This would be on the side of doing as little as possible. I bet you can kind of pretty easily tell that if you were really emotionally activated, that might be hard to do. I know that's true for me. What makes that practice powerful is that when you are calm, your awareness is at its natural, most open place. And that's the interesting thing about awareness, and I kind of hammer on this because it's a really important kind of underpinning for this whole meditation thing, is that right now, you sitting here, your awareness is doing so much, or let's say holding so much. Like you can feel your feet, you can feel your clothes, you can hear the fan, you can hear my voice, you can see the room, you can think about what you ate before you came here, you think about what you're doing before you're here, and you can think about, you know, that time when you were 9 and you got that really yummy ice cream. Like, think about how big your awareness is. It's incredibly vast. And then the second something upsetting comes into my field of reference, it becomes the biggest thing in the room. Anytime there's an agitating or attractive, it works both ways, right? Clinging, aversion, attraction, repulsion, these kinds of polarities, they magnetize attention, they magnetize awareness. And it's so interesting, the thing the Buddha observed, which is such an incredibly powerful insight, especially when you consider this is 2,600 years we're talking about, 2,600 years ago. The Buddha observed that when an object enters my awareness grabs the object and then takes the shape of the object, right? So like Have you ever been driving and you hit a bump and you go, ow? It didn't really hurt. But your awareness, you're driving, and very naturally, you're like, you know, like when you're driving, you know, you can parallel park, you know how far your car is from another person. Like there's this amazing thing that awareness is, where basically it's like water. It takes the shape that you give it. Or you look at this thing and your brain is like, what is that thing? Oh, I know what that thing is. That's the thing he bangs on the bell with. All those thoughts were about this thing now. And you could probably even look at the thing and say, oh, the handle's glossy. It's probably wood. It's probably, you know, like slick. And that thing is probably like not slick. It's maybe fabric or maybe suede or something. All those thoughts were about this thing. Or if you see something, this is kind of neutral, right? But imagine like the most gorgeous person you've ever seen. You're like, oh my God. Like they have become the most important thing in the room. And all of your thoughts are about them. Your attention has literally taken the shape of that person, or the opposite, someone you do not like, or someone who's been a jerk to you in the past. They walk in and you're like, this guy. So this is the trip about the magnetizing power of thoughts, feelings, or sensations with our attention. You stub your toe, it's the only thing you feel, right? Like how many times have you stubbed your toe or banged your head and someone's like, are you all right? And you're like, you lose all power to speak. And like, just give me a minute. Okay, yeah, I'm fine. It just really hurt. We have a coffee table at home that like wants blood. It's always after us. Anybody have a coffee table like that at home? Or a counter or a corner? Anyway, that coffee table will kill again. Anyway, and so at least once a day, somebody gets it and we're like, okay. Does anybody not understand the point I'm trying to make or want more stupid analogies? Okay. The reason this is important is because our attention habitually collapses around things we are attracted to or aversive to. And that takes a lot of energy, a lot of oxygen out of the room. And this is something the Buddha observed, that when he was able to notice when he collapses and just open up again. I'm collapsing, open up again. Collapsing, open up again. That muscle gets really strong, and your ability to tolerate and be present to what's aversive or activating negatively, or attractive and activating positively, that ability to be present to whatever your experience is the entire game.